now I'm going to give you information you will get nowhere else. All right? I promise you. And the information is very, very important to the country. All right? And it has to do with using the criminal justice system to prosecute presidential candidates. All right? That's the highest level. And that's where we are now. We're at the highest level of possible corruption in this country. Doesn't get any higher than this. Even if President Biden took money from his son and brother, it's not worse. That's not worse than using the justice system to eliminate a viable presidential candidate. I think you'd all agree with that. All right, so we are at the apex of this, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So we're going back to 1800, the year 1800. Thomas Jefferson elected president, okay? And Aaron Burr is the vice president. Now, they didn't run on the same ticket. Back then, the states were responsible for voting for president. Didn't have a popular vote, had no way to tabulate it. So Jefferson and Burr, I mean, they didn't really like each other, they were from opposing parties. And Jefferson really had suspicions about Burr, who eventually exposed himself as one of the great American scoundrels of all time. Fast forward to 1804, Jefferson runs for president again. He fires Burr, okay, because he loathed him by that point, all right? And he puts New York Governor George Clinton as VP. Jefferson wins. Burr then vanishes out west and concocts a scheme to seize land west of the Appalachians, west of the Mississippi. Much of that land was under control of Spain, which ran Mexico. I know it's getting a little confusing now, but there was no Central American authority at that point in history west of the Appalachian Mountains. Burr wanted to set up his own government with him as a dictator. Jefferson immediately said, Burr is committing treason. Publicly said it. President of the United States, treason. My former vice president is treasonous. He's trying to do this. So Burr's arrested. All right? And he's tried in a federal court in Virginia for treason. Now, in the meantime, Burr had assassinated, maybe that's the wrong word, Alexander Hamilton in a duel in Weehawken, New Jersey, which overlooks Manhattan. All right, that became before this treason stuff. But Burr was widely loathed by everybody. Enter the judge of the treason trial, John Marshall. Does that name ring a bell? First Supreme Court Justice, John Marshall, presides over the treason trial in Virginia that is accusing Aaron Burr. Now, if Burr were found guilty, Jefferson wanted him executed. That wouldn't have happened. They probably would have banished him or deported him or something. I don't think they would have hung him, but they might have. They could have. So Marshall and Thomas Jefferson were cousins. You didn't know that, did you? I didn't know that, but I've been researching this like crazy. They did not like each other. Now, Jefferson was not a real likable guy. Marshall was a very smart guy. Anyway, Marshall directs the trial to acquit Aaron Burr. He's the big guy in the courtroom, Marshall. And the jury goes along with it. Aaron Burr is found not guilty. Jefferson goes wild. Now, some historians, the shallow ones, said that Marshall directed the trial to get Burr off because he hated Jefferson. That's not true. Marshall was so smart, and if you read anything about him, if you look at his record, if you look at his life, this is a brilliant guy. He knew that if Thomas Jefferson could put a noose around Aaron Burr's neck, that any politician could be in the same situation. carrying on. He knew. Because the evidence against Burr was overwhelming. Burr did it. But the witnesses were flimsy, and it was Jefferson driving this train. So Marshall said, no, not going to give political parties or one or two men the power to eliminate political opposition through the justice system. Nobody knows this, but this is the key to the Trump situation. All right? Now, this is why you watch and listen to me, because you find this nowhere else. So we fast forward now into 2023. I, your humble correspondent, am thoroughly convinced the charges against Donald Trump in total are politically motivated. Okay? I have studied them. I know that in New York City, the District Attorney Alvin Bragg would not have prosecuted this Stormy Daniels case for anybody else. Here in New York City, heavyweight drug dealers don't get prosecuted. Criminals found with loaded weapons on their person don't get prosecuted because Bragg doesn't believe in incarceration. So this Stormy Daniels thing, never. And Bragg has not even said what the federal law violation is after all of this time. So that is totally bogus. That goes out the window, politically motivated. The January 6th stuff by the special counsel, Smith, is theoretical. Trump knew the election was legit, but lied about it to keep power. I don't believe that for a second, and I don't believe Smith can prove that. Particularly if Mike Pence said in court what he said on television. He goes, White House didn't tell me to do anything unlawful. I heard all this from the media. Now, Trump wanted Pence to delay the electoral count, no doubt, because Trump was told by his attorney, John Eastman, that was constitutional. That'll be presented in court. So Smith's accusation that Trump knew he lost the election but lied about it is flimsy to say the least. And most prosecutors never would have brought that case. Unless he's got something that we haven't seen, and maybe he does. All right? Mar-a-Lago, Trump did it. If you read my message of the day, I don't understand this to this day. Just send the Blinken documents back to the National Archives. What do you care? I don't get it. He did it. Now you'll go, what about Biden? What about when they confronted Biden? Biden said, take anything you want back. All right? But Obama had him, but Obama didn't resist. Trump resisted. Why? So that case has got to stand. It's already brought. Supreme Court's not going to throw it out. And the Georgia thing is just insane. If you read that indictment, it's 19 people. It's again theoretical, totally theoretical. We need to find 11,000 what votes. Fine, what does that mean? There's reasonable doubt about what that sentence means. And Fani Willis waited 2.5 years to file that because that was the Democratic strategy. Hit him here, hit him there, and hit him here. That's political. So John Marshall, if he were the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court today, would know all this. And John Roberts does as well, as do the other 8 Supreme Court justices. They know this is politically driven. That's not to exonerate Donald Trump. I'm not exonerating him. He handled it poorly a number of ways. All right? He did. If you're going to tell me he didn't, then I don't think you're in the real world, although I respect your opinion. I'm not going to denigrate you for holding an opinion that Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong or whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. But the facts show he could have easily handled this in another way, and avoided all this grief for him and the Republican Party. That's what I say in the message, and I hope everybody reads it on BillO'Reilly.com. All right, so summing up. Trump has to get a constitutional attorney, the best in the world. So maybe there's somebody living abroad. Has to do that. He's got to get these cases in front of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court would pretty much do what John Marshall did with Jefferson Burr. Say, this is politically motivated. These charges are flimsy. Can't do it with Mar-a-Lago, so I would plea that. Trump, don't think he's ever going to plea out, but I would. If I were him, I'd say, I made a mistake. I should have acted quicker. I had no malice. I didn't do anything to hurt national security, which he didn't. This is all about him not following the rules. And he didn't. So if you can get that out, then the Supreme Court can come in and say, you know, this is unconstitutional in a variety of ways, but you need a very smart attorney to present that case. All right? You got any questions at all? Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. We will put aside some space tomorrow, some time and space to answer any of your questions about this week, and that is the memo. Hey, it's time to take care of your liver. Data from the American Heart Association indicates that adults with fatty liver were 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have fatty livers. These days, we throw everything at our bodies: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, statins, cigarettes. No wonder so many of us have a sluggish, fatty liver. Your liver helps your body with hundreds of daily functions. It's time you help your liver with Liver Health Formula. Liver Health Formula is an all-natural, American-made supplement that contains 12 clinically proven botanicals to recharge and protect your liver. So try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to keep your heart healthy. Go to getliverhelp.com/Bill, claim your free gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Bill. Target. Shareholder lawsuit, filed on Tuesday. This is big. So a group got together and says that Target had a value of $74 billion before it went woke, with the gay clothes and the Satan thing and all. Now they've lost $14 billion in worth, Target. So they're getting sued. And the lawsuit says, quote, betraying Target's customers and shareholders with misleading representations about its environmental, social, and governance and diversity, equity and inclusion mandates, and causing Target shareholders to lose billions of dollars. Interesting lawsuit. Now, I thought there was going to be a lawsuit against Fox News, a shareholder lawsuit for the $800 million that organization had to pay Dominion, the voting machines. But so that has not happened. Very interesting. Maui, Hawaii, one of those beautiful places on earth. I've been there many times. 36 people dead in the fires there. What happened was wildfires erupted and driven by winds from Hurricane Dora, which didn't hit Hawaii, was south, but the winds were so intense and came so fast that 36 people got killed, and some of the people in Maui had to jump in the ocean to survive the flames, and they were pulled out, thank God. So this is a catastrophe. You may remember that Kilauea erupted on the Big Island. Nobody was killed then. They had plenty of advance notice. But we feel very bad for everybody who lived and died in Maui. Smart life. So I'm in the east end of Long Island now. Prices are insane. Absolutely crazy here. And people are coming up to me, and a lot of families, vacation, beautiful ocean here, tremendous nature, fishing, horseback riding, whatever you may want here. But everything's doubled in the last 3 years, all the prices. So, smart life. You go into a resort, you go in someplace. If you can drive, drive. Don't take a plane. If it's 10 hours or less, get in a car. Bring food, snacks, drinks, bring them, okay? Because whatever you have to buy is going to cost you 4 times what it'll cost you at home. Breakfast for a family of 4 in the Hamptons and easily costs you $70. Okay? Breakfast. Go to the deli. They have everything. And eat it, in a nice environment, wherever. But buy your breakfast in the deli, unless you want to pay $70 for breakfast. Coffee. There's a million coffee places, $6, $7. 7-Eleven is the best coffee. I don't have any interest in 7-Eleven, but it's 50% less and it's better. What else I got here? Chamber of Commerce. Wherever you go, whatever town in America you go to on vacation, go to the Chamber of Commerce. They got discount coupons all over the place on all the attractions. They'll save you a lot of money. Smart life. Everybody knows Chuck Norris. He's not just an action star in the movies. He's a vet, family man, big on health. Now, Chuck has spent decades of his life trying every supplement out there. Most did nothing, but a few provided dramatic changes. So Chuck Norris put them together into a drink called Morning Kick. By adding Morning Kick to his diet, Chuck says he feels better at the age of 83 than he has in years. Morning Kick combines Chuck Norris's favorite supplements into one great tasting daily drink. It's got probiotics for weight loss, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for your muscles and joints, as well as several powerful anti-aging supplements. You'll end up with more energy, better digestion, and you'll think more clearly and feel younger. Visit mymorningkick.com/first. That's mymorningkick.com/first. Remember, all individuals are unique, so your results can and will vary. Okay, so I told you, here's the final thought of the day. The ocean out here in eastern Long Island, where I am, very turbulent this summer, okay? Not a place to fool around. In fact, you can't even body surf because the waves crash so hard down, you break your back, all right? And then nobody's body surfing. So, and the current is tough, the undertow is tough. That does not inhibit me from dunking in the water because that's what I do. I'm an ocean guy, but I'm not riding the waves and I'm being cautious. So a couple of weeks ago, I got whacked by a wave and I'm like, boom, and that was that. So yesterday I go in and it's turbulent, but I'm very cognizant of Ernest Hemingway's book, The Old Man and the Sea, which is a brilliant book and it's not long. Okay, and since I've always loved the sea, loved the ocean, that was one of my earliest reads. So I'm not the old man in the sea, I'm the aging man. All right, so I'm doing great. I'm bopping up and down. The water temperature is about 74, really nice, okay? But then I have to get out. So I calculate that I can jog out of there before the next big wave comes. No, I get maybe 5 yards from the shoreline and bam, the thing knocks me down. And I had reef shoes on and one of my reef shoes goes flying. And then I try to spring up, but my spring is not as it was when I was a lifeguard. It takes me a little longer and bam, I get whacked again. So now I'm like this. So a guy runs out, on the beach, goes, hey, and I said, look, I got it. It's so embarrassing. Big macho man, right? And he goes, I got it, I'm fine. So I get up and I walk out. And he goes, oh, it happens to all of us. I go, yeah, I guess so. Probably one of these. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you all this is if you're in the ocean and it's rough, please be careful. All right, even a seasoned guy like me, who's been all over the world in the ocean. I thought I could beat that wave out. No. It was a pretty interesting experience. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, Please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.